Hello and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest Bethesda news, rumors, and speculation, and it is Sunday. It's the weekend. Todd Howard hasn't been interviewed on a Saturday or a Sunday or anything like that. There isn't like any breaking new Bethesda news or anything. However, I did find something very interesting, in my opinion, to share with you all today, and it's actually a community theory or a community discovery, whatever you want to consider it. I felt like it was interesting enough to share with you all in today's video because it does have to do with a direct discovery in the E3 2021 Starfield trailer and what a community member thinks it could mean in regards to the Starfield main story and just the overall gameplay and vibe of the game. And I like doing community-centric videos like this, so if you do have your own theories in regards to Starfield or even the Elder Scrolls 6, feel free to comment them down below or send me a DM over on Twitter because my messages are open over there. However, there's a couple rules to this. If you send me something interesting, I will definitely do a video on it, and I will give you a shout out like I'll be doing for the person in today's video. However, like I said, there's a couple rules. The first thing is this has to be a theory that you can back up with actual evidence from a trailer or from a Todd Howard interview or something like that. And I guess that's the only rule. There's not two rules, there's just one rule, but I want this to actually be something you can back up with evidence and not just some kind of like skooma pipe dream thing that you just kind of started stamping onto the keyboard and sending my way. Nonetheless, I think it would be super hype to do a video where I break down a bunch of actual community theories based on actual evidence in the trailer. I think that would be an interesting video, but nonetheless, like I said, please send me your theories, but actually have them backed up with evidence. But let's not waste any more time and get to today's video because it is super interesting in my opinion, and I'm sure all of you will feel the same. But as you can see here, this comment was actually on one of my E3 2021 live streams, and it's from Buckwheat McCoy, which is an awesome name. First of all, you totally sound like a Fallout New Vegas companion, or just, I guess, an NPC. Probably too powerful to actually be a companion. You're like the NPC that lives somewhere on some kind of ranch by themselves and just destroys everything with dynamite. But nonetheless, Buckwheat McCoy says, here's my take on something I saw in the Starfield trailer. And in case you haven't noticed by now, I will kind of be changing their words just a little bit to suit the need of explaining it better and in more detail to you all in the video. But they say, here's my take on what I saw in the Starfield trailer. I think Earth was destroyed and there are only a few human colonies left. We no longer have the resources for inter-system travel. The strange artifact in space ends up being a Stargate, and I think he means the strange artifact that the narrator is referring to in the E3 2021 Starfield trailer, and also probably what's in these images here that you can see in the trailer as well. These images are some sort of artifact because when a narrator talks about the big key that the player character or whomever found, whomever is being mentioned in the trailer, they show this image here basically, which I guess is the key, the artifact that is being mentioned. Buckwheat McCoy continues by saying the strange artifact in space ends up being a Stargate, and the original Stargate movie came out in 1994, which is 3 years before the 10th Planet game was supposed to come out. And for those that don't know, Bethesda originally tried to make a game like Starfield in the 90s called the 10th Planet, and Buckwheat McCoy seems to believe that this game was going to be based, or at least inspired, by Stargate. And I haven't seen Stargate. I know that takes away from my nerd credibility and level a bit, but I know Stargate's supposed to be pretty awesome, and I kind of have a overall basic understanding of what Stargate is and what the story was. So they believe that Starfield will loosely be based on the 10th Planet, which was loosely based on Stargate, and the strange key, the strange artifact mentioned by the narrator and seen in the trailer here is a Stargate. Buckwheat McCoy continues to say that the symbols on the side of the drawing here seem to have Greek words with it, and are also the exact symbols we need to find by exploring in order to actually use the Stargate. Once we find the correct amount of symbols, we activate the Stargate and it teleports us to a new system, and I guess it travels with us. And then we have to find even more symbols again in that system in order to use the Stargate another time. And eventually we have to keep doing this to get back to our own solar system, to get back to Earth in order to find out what the fate of Earth was. So the TL doctor of this story is he believes that what the narrator was referring to in the E3 2021 Starfield trailer and what we saw in the trailer here, this strange artifact, is a Stargate, and Earth is long lost or something like that, believed to be destroyed, and we're trying to find our way back to Earth because we've been separated from Earth for a long time, along with a couple other human colonies. And all these human colonies decided to make a last-ditch attempt to find a way back home, to find a way back to Earth, by making a faction or reviving a dead faction called Constellation, which will be made up of the last group of space explorers, all going out to try to find the symbols of the Stargate so they can hopefully use the Stargate to find their way back to Earth. And obviously there's a lot of speculation and stuff here, right? Because, I mean, other than we knowing that this strange artifact is somehow important to the story and stuff, we don't know what it does. We don't even know, like, what these symbols are. And we don't know actually what will end up happening when we use this device. But nonetheless, we know this device is important, and it has something to do with these images here. We don't know if Earth is in the game. I mean, humans are in the game, so we can only assume Earth is in the game to some capacity, whether it's still alive and well or destroyed and left behind. Nonetheless, Buckwheat McCoy believes the path to Earth, the way back home to Earth, is long forgotten, or somehow we can't access it anymore, and the Stargate is the thing that Constellation is trying to understand and figure out, so that way we can find a way back home and link up with the hub world, with humanity's actual home planet again, if it even is still, like, stable, and if it exists and isn't destroyed already. Obviously a lot of speculation here, but this would make for an interesting story, right? Because if exploration and just space exploration in general is a prime major focus of Bethesda Game Studios for Starfield, then they would have to give us a reason to go out and explore other than just the usual Bethesda Game Studios charm, right? I mean, in Bethesda Game Studios RPGs, their worlds are always so interesting, and just their RPGs are built so well that we want to go out and explore, see more of the world, find more crazy stories, discover more mysteries, and solve more mysteries, and find more awesome loot and stuff like that. However, if Bethesda is focusing even more on exploration in Starfield, they'd have to step it up a bit, right? And what more way to do that than making exploration be inherited by the main story, to where we actually have to go find these symbols, these artifacts, in order to use this Stargate to find our way back to Earth. I mean, even as a player who doesn't know much about the Starfield universe already, I know the second I pick up the game, and I know that if Earth is, like, far removed from the player, kind of like how Akavir is in the Elder Scrolls universe, I know that it would be super interesting and actually be kind of like a motivation and kind of like a drive for me to go out and explore, to find these symbols so I can see what Earth looks like. Even as a player, I'd want to see what Earth looks like and see if it's still, like, actual viable or if it's destroyed. But still, remember, this is all speculation for the most part. In terms of a theory, in terms of a community theory, I give this one a B, just because it has a pretty good explanation and it's super interesting nonetheless. I mean, yes, a lot of it is speculation based on some tangible evidence in the Starfield trailer, but nonetheless, I'm giving it a B. The only reason I'm not giving it an A, Buckwheat McCoy, is because if there was even more evidence to support your theory, then I would definitely give it an A, but the only evidence you have is definite evidence, but it's still small nonetheless. Hopefully you understand and you don't go all New Vegas Buckwheat McCoy on me, but nonetheless, that's everything I want to talk about in today's video. Like I said, if you have community theories in regards to Starfield or even the Elder Scrolls 6, comment them down below, or send me a message over on Twitter, but make sure you can back this evidence up with something in a trailer, or some confirmed information from an interview, or something like that. And as always, if you enjoy the content, and if you're hyped for Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn notifications on, and as always, huge shout out, much appreciation to everyone who has supported the channel. If you want to go above and beyond to support the channel, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. I am working on that list that I'll be featuring at the end of every one of my videos, where I do give a permanent future video shout out to everyone that has supported the channel ever. This list will be done by next weekend 100%, so if you want to get a permanent future video shout out at the end of every single one of my videos from this point forward and get your name added to that list, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all this and more are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when Elon Musk is a Starfield character class.
It just works.